Once upon a time, in a small village nestled amidst lush green hills, there lived a little girl named Deepa. Deepa was a cheerful child with big, curious eyes and a heart full of kindness. She lived with her parents in a modest house at the edge of the village. Deepa's parents worked hard to provide for their family, but they didn't have much money to spare for toys or luxuries. Despite this, Deepa never complained. She found joy in the simple things around her, like chasing butterflies in the meadow or listening to the chirping of birds at dawn. One day, while Deepa was helping her mother with chores around the house, she spotted something shiny tucked away in a dusty corner. It was an old, forgotten doll with faded clothes and a missing arm. Deepa's eyes lit up with excitement as she held the doll in her hands. "Oh, Mama, look what I found!" "Can I keep her?" Deepa asked, her voice filled with eagerness. Her mother smiled warmly and nodded. "Of course, my dear. You can clean her up and make." Deepa spent the rest of the day carefully washing and mending the doll. She sewed a new dress for her and painted a bright smile on her face. As she worked, she imagined all the adventures she and her new friend would have together. From that day on, Deepa and her doll were inseparable. They played in the garden, danced in the sunshine, and whispered secrets to each other under the twinkling stars. Deepa named her doll Tara, and she cherished her more than anything else in the world. However, not everyone in the village was happy about Deepa's newfound happiness. There was a group of children who were envious of Deepa's doll. They had never seen anything like it before, and they wanted one for themselves. One afternoon, while Deepa was playing with Tara in the village square, the jealous children approached her with sneers on their faces. "Hey, Deepa, that doll of yours looks old and ugly. Why don't you give it to us? We'll take much better care of it than you ever could," one of the children taunted. Deepa clutched Tara tightly to her chest, her eyes filling with tears. She had never encountered such meanness before. "No, Tara is mine, and I love her," Deepa replied defiantly. The children laughed cruelly and lunged forward, trying to snatch the doll from Deepa's grasp. In the chaos that ensued, Tara slipped from Deepa's hands and fell to the ground, her fragile body shattering into pieces. Deepa cried out in anguish as she watched her beloved doll crumble before her eyes. The jealous children stood frozen, realizing the extent of their actions. Deepa's parents hurried to her side, comforting her as she wept for her lost friend. They gently gathered the broken pieces of the doll and hugged Deepa tightly, assuring her that everything would be okay. In the days that followed, Deepa couldn't bring herself to smile. She missed Tara terribly and couldn't shake off the sadness that weighed heavily on her heart. As time passed, Deepa's parents noticed a change in their daughter. She no longer laughed and played like she used to. Her once bright eyes were now clouded with sorrow. One evening, Deepa's mother sat her down and spoke softly. "My dear, I know how much you miss Tara, but we must remember that true happiness doesn't come from material things. It comes from within, from the love and kindness we share with others." Deepa listened intently to her mother's words, her heart heavy with guilt for the way she had clung to her doll, oblivious to the feelings of others. Feeling a newfound determination, Deepa wiped away her tears and made a decision. The next day, she gathered the pieces of Tara's broken body and set out to find a way to mend her. Deepa visited the village carpenter and explained her plight. Moved by her sincerity, the carpenter offered to help. Together, they carefully glued the pieces of the doll back together, making her whole once again. As Deepa held Tara in her arms, she felt a sense of peace wash over her. She realized that Tara wasn't just a doll. She was a symbol of... From that day on, Deepa shared her doll with the other children in the village, teaching them the joy of kindness and compassion. Together, they played and laughed, their hearts filled with happiness. And as the sun set over the horizon, casting a warm glow upon the village, Deepa knew that she had learned a valuable lesson, that true happiness comes from giving, not receiving, and that love has the power to mend even the most broken of hearts.